Hello everyone, yes I know this video was not sponsored by anyone, but we used all the old parts for this person and everything so that we can put it into this computer. We upgrade everything, or not really everything, but we try to just make it better. So we put in the 1650 and everything that I had in my old computer and everything. We're still using everything, and yes, I know it may be confusing and everything, but the other computer I built with a 3060 inside and a water cooling, I will put it on the end of the video so that you can just go and check it out again. But if you want more info and everything, just go to the Discord or email me. Everything will be in the description down below. But just remember and everything, there will be no cussing on the Discord server, or else you will be muted, or else I will kick you or ban you from the server. Okay, there is rules and everything, so just go and read that. And on the back side, all we just did was I just put in the SATA cables and everything and the disk drive. I'm just moving everything around. I just put in the hard drive here just to get everything sorted out over here. But the only problem I kind of have is I do not really know where to hide some of these cables, because not all of them is hideable. Because if I put it underneath here, you will be able to see it. But if I put these in here, you won't actually see it. Let's just see if it works. Yes, that will work. Hello everyone, sorry about that yesterday at the night time, because the camera cut it out and we missed some things that we did, but nothing to worry about. We're just going to go on. We're going to put this LED strip. We just saw that there's extender to put these onto there from the fans. We're just going to put the LED strip down here. There's already one here that we already put here, and we already tested it to see if it works. It works and everything, but we will later put on that video, and then we'll show you what the computer does. See, here is some of the things we did. We just cable tied some of the things here, and here's the problem why the fan did not work. We forgot to put in this fan. I think this was this one. The one didn't work because we forgot to put in the fan controller, so let me just do that. Here's another RGB. Okay, we just found these two. So this must go to the back. We're not going to actually use this, but we can. No, I'm not going to use it. Now, let's see if we can connect it to that other connector. I'm just going to put it like this for now. Okay, this one we must put through here because we must run it through this box. It's going to turn it around. Just finding the connector again. Put it through here. Okay, now I just must connect it. Just trying to get in there because you already stick it, but when we're now going to take it out, it's everything just going to be everywhere.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me, yeah. Don't you see?
Here is the extra connectors and everything for the extenders. It goes with these fans. For if you put in all the fans, there are extra extenders to put in these connectors. Here we go. Just going to take that back again. Round again just to cable tie everything. I do not know if there's any more cable ties, but let me just check. It doesn't look like it. Okay, just found 2 cable ties. I'll check later if there's any more. Just going to cable tie these together. Wrong way around again. Side cutter, okay. That cable is fine just like that. Just want to make sure everything is tightened now. Yes, back is fine. Okay, the only thing I'm going to do, but I do not really recommend it, but we're going to take this black tape and we're going to put it all around these cables. Just to make it black, just to blend in with the computer, because I do not know why they didn't make it black, but on the pictures it was black. So let me quickly see if I can do it. This is how it actually must have looked like, but we didn't get it like this. We actually got it like this, but it's fine. We'll just do it with the black tape. But I do not recommend doing it, just to let it look a little bit better. But we're going to do it only in the front. But if you want to leave it like it is, it's fine, but just want to make it a better clean build. Cannot find the scissors right now, so I'm just using that. Okay, so now that we did this to cover up and make it black, to just fit the theme and everything, Not really to fit it, but just to let it look nicer. But now we're going to put in the graphics card, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go and put the computer back and test it at the back, and then we're going to see how it looks then, and then we'll see how it performs. We're just going to do kind of like a stress test, just to see how the processor performs and what it can do, but we're not going to do any gaming on it yet. We're just going to test the gaming on the other YouTube channel. The link will be down below in the description if you want to see how we game on the other computer with a 3060 screen card in and with a 1650 for this computer. So let me just put in the graphics card for now, and then we can go on and test everything. Make sure that this clip is always down before we put in the screen card, or else this will break. It doesn't want to go in, doesn't want to clip. Okay, this is one. I'm just going to move these cables, because the screen card is a little bit too thick. Because, bring the camera closer. This cable is pressing on the screen card, so I'm just seeing if I can put it over here, but I do not think you can. No, it's then first going to press on it. So it's going to be gentle then, not to break that cable. Just ensure it's clipped. Okay, and it's in. Okay, and the cable still has movement. Okay, so everything we're now going to do is sorry about that. So everything we're going to do now is we're going to put the graphics card, we're going to fasten it with these screws, and then we're done with the graphics card, and then we're just going to close the back plate, and then I'm just going to tape these points for the extenders, because I see they're kind of getting loose because I pull out. So I'm just going to put those together off camera, then we'll take the computer to the room where we will test everything, and then do a sort of a stress test for the processor to see how fast the fans and how fast the cooling and how better the cooling is, just to see if everything works. Okay, so now we're going to test the computer. So let's see. Okay, that works. Okay, I see the extender must have pulled out. I'll check later about that. I'm just going to quickly look here. Is the extender pulled out? I'll look at that later. Just quickly going to put in the password. Okay. The screen doesn't want to adjust. I do not know why, but this computer screen, or not computer screen, but this screen that do not want to adjust on its own. But when I use it on my computer, it auto adjusts itself. So let's just put everything on recommended for now. It is on recommended. Just make it smaller so that I can actually see. Okay, but let's just keep it like this. Let's just see. Okay, where's the temperature? There we go. temperature 27. No, that's not the right temperature. Assembly, no, space, no. Here is the M.2 drive's temperature, 43 and everything. GPU. Okay, here is the GPU's temperature. That is the screen card. It's almost 30 degrees Celsius, and the GPU fans is running. The screen card's fans always run, so some of the new, I think it's from the Gen 30 screen cards, I think, that the fans just begin when it gets over a certain temperature, like 55, some of them 45, but mostly of them is 55, just to be safe and everything. So most of the screen cards have a feature in for to show you how hot it is with a light or something like that, like the 3060 we built in the other computer, but this one do not have it, but it's still fine. So let's just see if I can find the, I think is, yes, it is 27 degrees Celsius. This is for the processor. Yes, I do not know why it's actually so cold, because other computers with the water cooling and everything, it is a Ryzen 9 3900 XT, so they will get hot, but this one will also get hot over time because it's still in idle and everything, and because of the screen and everything, it's not auto adjusting and everything, so we will fix that later. So I'm just quickly going to see what is that other program we used again to on the other computer for the processor.
Cinemax R23 or something like that.
Cinebench. Okay. While that installs, we're just going to leave it like this for now. So we will be back when it is when the installation is done. For now, it will only take about a few seconds because we're installing it on the M.2 drive, because the M.2 drive can really be fast sometimes. So it depends which one you have, but this one is actually very fast. It's actually the same one in the, yes, it is the same in the other computer. So we will be back when this is done and when everything is extracted, so that we can use and run the processor and everything on the screen, so that we can put on a stress test to see what is the max temperature for the processor when you put it under a lot of stress. It does not affect your processor or hurt it. It will go into safe mode for if it gets over a certain temperature. When the Ryzen 9, I think it is only for the Ryzen 9 processors, when they get to 90 degrees to 100...
92 degrees is max.
Yes, 92 degrees is max, and it will go into safe mode, and sometimes it will ramp up the fans to extremely max and over max to keep the processor cool and everything, so that it doesn't damage or anything. So we will see you when this is done and when everything is extracted.
Okay, we just want to include we're only running a 20 meg line here, so that's why it takes a little bit longer.
But the M.2 drive is really faster when you have a bigger internet line. So we will see you then.
Okay, that's about 10 seconds left.
That works too. Okay, here is how fast the M.2 drive really is. I think this file is this file is 420 megabytes. Yes, it's 420 megabytes big. So it's actually really fast to just show how fast it goes. But sometimes the processor, or not the processor, but when you have another hard drive in and installing it from that hard drive over to the M.2 drive, it sometimes gets a dip to 0 and then it climbs up again because it must get all the files together again and then it can let everything go. That is what happened to Windows 10 on my computer when it pre-installed everything. It just installed and then it didn't crash or anything, but then it drops to 0 and then it went back up, but it isn't really to worry about. Okay, that is for the multi-core. Fans is maybe now going to be really fast. Or not the fans, but everything else. Quickly going to get app just to see what the temperatures is doing. Okay, here's temperatures. Oh no, that isn't the temperature. Okay, here is the temperature for the processor. 69 to about 70, you can say, to put it on a round number, but it actually goes to 68 to 69. Because this is a Ryzen 9, I cannot know.
The Ryzen 3 3100.
Oh, sorry, not the Ryzen 9, the Ryzen 3. But sometimes the cooling actually do not really depends on these computers and everything on this processor, because you can put on extreme cooling and fan cooling and water cooling, but actually I think for this processor not to go too overkill, you can put on a fan cooling and everything, just how you saw it, that kind of fan we put on this processor and everything that was on it. But it really goes to 70, the max will be maybe 50 or 75, but it depends actually how many cores the processor has, how fast this picture loads, and how many threads it has, and it really depends also how many cores and threads the processors have, because then it depends on the temperatures also. So that is the temperatures for the Ryzen 3, and it's still loading. Okay. So this processor actually takes a little bit longer, but with the other computer, with this stress test with the Ryzen 9, it actually took how many seconds? I think.
I don't know, but we're gonna show you now.
Okay, we're going to show you later when. Okay, now it starts. Okay, but now this one is done, but the other one took 8 seconds.
No, we'll test that now.
I think it took 8 minutes, 8 seconds, but it went really fast.
So we're gonna do a test on that one.
So we're going to do the test right now. Do you see how fast the temperatures actually go down?
Just wanna zoom in.
Okay. Do you actually see how fast the temperatures actually goes down when you actually have a cooler on it? Because I see some of the people do not put fans on their coolers, because you get of those kind of coolers, but then it's too big and you must put it on the outside of the computer. But it's actually kind of a waste in some way, because it's really sometimes expensive and you must get the fan to blow on there, because it can get really hot. But now the temperature is 41. So now we're just going to leave the computer in idle for now and go to the other computer and show you how that one performs with the stress test and everything, and how fast it actually loads. And then we're later going to go into the BIOS and adjust one of these fan speeds, because one of them is ramping up too fast because they're already running full speed at idling. So we will put that on later. It's a in front, these two and everything is fine. They can run full speed, because these two blow out air, this one also. So here's one in the front over here. I don't know if you can see it, but in front here there is the same kind of fan like these on the top, but it is ramping up too fast, so we're later going to change that into the BIOS. Okay, so we just fixed one minor issue. The one strip didn't work because we forgot to plug it in. Because the cables, I said I was going to put them together and tape them, but I forgot to do that, so it pulled out. So it didn't work, so we just put it back together. But look just the big difference one strip can actually do. And here is the fan I was talking about. This one also, the plug also pulled out, but we sorted that out. So this is the final and everything that we did to this computer. So I hope the client or person we built this computer for is going to be happy, and they're going to play games for always, and they will enjoy it for the screen card. So we're still waiting for the other computer to come in. It's not really a good motherboard and stuff like that, but the screen card will make a big difference to the gaming, and then it will do a big difference to the motherboard also. It's one of the first kind of motherboards that came out, I do not know in what year, but it will still perform if we put in that screen card, because it will just do its job. Because the screen card makes a big difference on everything, and even some lights do also. So I hope you enjoy seeing this computer, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you liked it, press the thumbs up button. If you want to see any more videos like this, subscribe. And if you want to see even more, then contact us for any help, and then we will help you build your computer for a minimum of 200 rand. We do not work with dollar, but you can convert the dollar to rand. It's not going to be so much, I think, or it is actually going to be, but we will still sort that out. I know it's confusing, but just bear with it. So okay, so I hope you enjoy this video. So subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.